Hi, how are you? Today's upcycle comes from the book Pattern Magic by Tomoko Nakamichi. I do have to confess, this book wasn't originally on the docket because it's not a t-shirt transformation book. It's not. That being said, I did find some ideas inside the book that I thought could be translated into upcycles. So that's what we're gonna do. Specifically, we're gonna be looking at the second idea of the book, which is two peas in a pod, version A. In the book, they start with a dolman sleeve t-shirt pattern. We're not doing that. We're just gonna be using regular t-shirts and hoping for the best. So they take the front of the pattern and reduce it in size 65%. Then they take the back of the pattern and increase it in size 135%. I got a small t-shirt and a larger t-shirt.
Should have done the math.
New York, the Big Apple. Rose Bowl, 1995, Penn State champions. I started by separating the front and the back of each t-shirt. Here they are on top of each other. The next step is to gather the back piece so that it's the same size as the front piece. And then sew it together. So we're going to do that on all the sides. I'm going to be gathering by hand using our handy dandy needle and thread. And it's at this point that I would have sewn them together. However, the back piece wasn't large enough to create the desired gathered effect for this particular pairing of shirts. So I needed to replace the front t-shirt with something smaller. Palm Springs. I repeated the first two steps. Okay, so it's giving more of what I'd like it to give. And then sew the two pieces together. Here it is. The gathers and the overall shape when viewing the top from the front isn't as dramatic as our inspiration, but it worked. Question mark. I tried another one. This time I used a Mickey Mouse short sleeve as the front and a much larger plain black long sleeve as the back. Using a long sleeve t-shirt really allowed for some gorgeous gathers. Gorgeous. However, because Tomoko's original design really shrunk the front of the t-shirt, the back isn't as tight fitting and there's quite a bit of pooling of fabric at the hem. This isn't a negative, just a notable difference. Experiment number 3. I wanted to try a long sleeve version, and I will toot my own horn here. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. I combined two larger tops to make the back piece big enough, and the gathers. Beautiful. The same sort of pooling happened on the back. For our fourth rendition, I decided to do the obvious and reverse the sizes of the front and back panels. So up until now, we've been doing smaller front, larger back, reversed it. So now we have a larger front, smaller back. Again, I used the two original shirts that we started with in the beginning. Obviously, using a smaller back moved the seams towards the back so they were no longer along the sides. It also created a mock neck effect. If that was a problem, you could cut down the neckline, reshape it so that it fits less higher up. For the last experiment, I wanted to combine a t-shirt front with a button-up shirt back. That was the idea. A fun idea. Maybe a good idea. Except for the fact that the t-shirt I used had literally so little stretch that you couldn't get into it. I couldn't even get it on my mannequin. The larger one, the smaller one, didn't matter. Couldn't get it on. So I cut it open in the front and then fast forward a bunch of steps. I ended up with this, and she's fun. She's a lot of fun. A lot of gathers, mixing of stretch and non-stretch textiles. I ended up using some leftover ribbing that I had from our previous t-shirt upcycle and some other t-shirt pieces. To say the least, I am in love. Some takeaways, lessons, advice for you, some things to pay closer attention to. Funny enough, these are all pieces of information that can be found within the book. Number 1, use very stretchy knit fabrics. Extremely stretchy knit fabrics. The 2 initial shirts I plan to use for this project, that is the Penn State Champion shirt and the New York shirt, had little to no stretch in them. And that made them hard to get into, which is a problem if you're trying to wear the clothes. Not all t-shirts, not all knit fabrics are made equal. Please choose more wisely than I did. Number 2, measurements. I didn't use them.
If you want to create something similar to what I made in this video by using measurements, here is a process you could follow.
I would start with a stretchy top that is close fitted. I would cut open the top the same way I did here, then measure them. So the number that you get from this measurement, multiply it by 2. If you don't want as much gathers as mine, you can multiply it by 1.5. If you want even more gathers than mine, you can go 2.5, you could even do 3. And then you would look for a second t-shirt that had similar numbers to those.
You can also combine multiple shirts to create a back piece that is large enough. I want to attempt another version where I use the measurements provided in the book. It will involve some simple pattern making, cutting away, and patchworking of fabric. Stay tuned for that.
Number 3, look for a shirt with dolman sleeves. Tomoko's original design uses dolman sleeves. Thank you so much for watching my t-shirt experiments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that other stuff that helps support creators on this platform. Until next time.
Bye, have a great time.